and now 19 civilians were reported dead and 28 others have been reported injured by a car bomb and other blasts in the north of Baghdad. The victims were attending a funeral service held outside a Shia mosque. Nazli Tazi has more on this and the rest of today's news.
At least 19 civilians have been killed and 20 others have been injured in Baghdad during a funeral service held outside of a Shia mosque only yesterday, police and medical sources reported. In the past 3 days, Iraq has witnessed new waves of attacks in several districts, which have altogether claimed the lives of an estimated 50 people and left approximately 100 wounded. It appears that violence is once again engulfing the country against the backdrop of the Islamic State group's advances and the absence of a locally recognized representative government. While no faction has admitted responsibility for the attacks, interethnic fighting has substantially increased since the inauguration of Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi's government. The apparent weaknesses of Iraqi security forces in passing months have further contributed to levels of insecurity, allowing Iraqi militias to make a full comeback onto the country's fraught political scene.
Well, still with us for some commentary on those bomb blasts in Baghdad is Sabah Al-Mukhtar. Sabah, is this meet the new boss same as the old boss, that the Abadi government, it will be now seen as exactly as sectarian as the Maliki government?
Well, most certainly. I mean, even if you look at the faces and the names, they are identical. They are the same. Abadi and Maliki, both of them are from the Dawah party. Both of them are from the same party, which is backed by Iran. Both of them have a sectarian agenda. During the last few months, the abuse of the other part of the society, the Sunnis, by the militias of the government, which is backed by the government, and indeed supported by some of the religious leaders, calling for people to take action. This is heightening the tension, the sectarian tension. And I think this is part of the reaction to it, because there are many, many more people being arrested and tortured, and there are a lot of people being killed. The drains in Halla, they've just recently found something like 30 bodies in there. There are a lot of people being killed under the pretext either they are ISIS or they are terrorists or whatever other thing. There are recently some 20 bodies went into the mortuary. Each and every single one of them had the name Omar. So this sectarian attitude is leading to a sectarian reaction, and probably this will continue to escalate, especially that we are coming to Ashura, which is the time where there will be a large congregation of people at Karbala and Najaf. So the threat is very real in there.
So the chances, I mean, many people see the only chance of sort of limiting the effectiveness of the Islamic State as being to detach it from its Sunni support, which is driven by this sectarianism. So each new round of sectarianism makes that less likely, does it?
That's correct. And indeed, the bombing, recent bombing, now Iraq has become it's free for all. Everybody is bombing Iraq, the Australian, the Canadians, the Belgians, the British, the Emiratis, the Syrian, the Egyptians. Everybody is bombing Iraq under the pretext that they are bombing ISIS. But when you look at the casualty figures, you find a lot of schools and homes and civilians and children and women are being killed. It's all under the pretext that they are fighting ISIS. In fact, ISIS, they run around in 2s and 3s in one of these fast cars or something. And the idea is that somehow you send airplanes from the air to bomb those people. But in fact, the government of Iraq is also using fighter jets from Iran, the Sukhoi from Iran. They are using their helicopters. They are dropping the explosive barrels on cities. Abadi himself said that he has ordered the military not to use force against the cities. But in fact, he said as well at the end of the day that he can issue the orders. The enforcement is not his job. It's the job of the executive. That's the minister. They've just have a new minister. The Minister of Interior said today or yesterday, he said that he's going to penalize the officers who fail in protecting the population, because this is a total failure of the state in protecting its civilian population out of terrorism acts, whether it's bombing by people or otherwise.
OK, Sabah Al-Mukhtar, thanks very much for that commentary. Now, before we go on a break, let's have a look at some of the stories that you've been discussing.